The wind's been pretty bad today, so I started working on the box for the raised bed and got a little farther than I anticipated. I wanted to do a video on all of it, but I'll show you guys what I've done so far. So I started off with 10-foot long, 1/4 inch pieces of PVC, and I cut them in half. And then, because they were coming apart when I was trying to see how this was going to work, I used the adhesive to attach these together. So you see I've got 2 pieces that are T's, and then these 2 cross sections here. This is what the middle is going to be like. Basically it's going to go like that, and I'm going to attach pieces to the middle. I could have just kept the pieces 10 feet long and done a hoop, but because the top is going to be a convertible top where I'm going to be able to open it, I was thinking maybe this was going to be necessary. I still could be wrong, I'm not sure. But let's take all this stuff out to the box and I'll show you guys what I've done out there so far. With the 3/4 inch PVC, I made just a basic rectangular framework using these 90s with the vertical piece coming up. And I did seal all this stuff too. I did that so the integrity of this would be a little bit stronger. The frame wouldn't try to push itself apart. And then over here what I did, if you watch the video where I built the box, you know that this piece is a 2x10, everything else is a 2x8, which is why this is raised. This was not intentional, so I had to make some modifications when I was putting this together. These are 3/4 inch clamps, which would have been easier if I would have used 1 inch clamps, not taking into consideration that this thing was going to have to be able to move and float freely inside this clamp. So what I did was, if you can see, I added 3 washers here, and then I added 3 washers here when I attach this, so then that way this thing can move a little bit freely. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now the pieces that I have there to go across the top that are actually going to create the hoops are 1/2 inch. So in order to get the 3/4 inch corner pieces to attach to this correctly, so I'm just going to be using these adapters that's 3/4 inch to 1/4 inch, sliding those guys in all 4 corners. So the next thing I came up with, in order to attach the 1/4 inch pieces to the 3/4 inch pieces going across, I'm using these 3/4 inch clamps. It just snap right on there. And then because this is 3/4 inch threaded, I'm going to be using a 3/4 inch to 1/4 inch adapter. It should be strong enough to hold itself against the PVC bending. Now one of the issues I ran into back here, because this piece is attached to the side and not to the top, is in order for this to be able to move freely as the lid opens, I had to notch this out. It doesn't look that pretty, but it'll definitely be functional in order for this to clip on here. And as this moves backwards and forwards, it won't be hitting this piece in the back. And I had to do that on this side and down at the end. Now that all those pieces are in place, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the hoops, and then we'll see how this works. So on this side over here, it's bowing out away from the bed. I'll have to modify something to get that to work. And then at the top, I'm going to be attaching a piece, individual cuts. There's 3 of them. Let me go from this piece to that piece and then so on, which will give this a little bit more strength. So let me try to get that taken care of real quick. What I've decided to do to help this bow that's right here is I'm actually going to just take another piece of wood, put it up here on top, which will actually catch it. I may come up with a different solution, and I may keep it like this. This seems to work just fine. It'll hold it in place, maybe eventually, with it being out in the sun and the weather, it may actually keep that form once I open it. But the next part is, when this is opened, I don't want the weight of this to go all the way back like that. I would like it to stop right about here. So, what I'm going to be doing is attaching a chain from here to here, catch it. That way the weight of this won't start to pull those screws out. So, I'm just going to be using this basic chain. Get this screw out of there. And I've got some hardware. I've got some of these clips. 2 of those. And some of these little eye bolts that I can attach to the PVC, like that. And then some of these guys right here, which I'll actually screw down into the wood. I can attach to the clip like that. Chain here to chain there. So, let's see how this is going to work. I just have to do the other side. Let's get this side fully finished first. Figure out how all this is going to go together. Like that. And I'll do another one of these on the other side. I'm going to do both of them because once this thing is covered with plastic and I open it, if it's windy out, it might try to pull the whole thing right off, which was another reason why I wanted to reinforce it with a chain like this. And then with the clip at the end, I can always unclip it if I need to do any kind of maintenance on it or something like that. It's not going to be that hard to get to. I won't need tools. So let me go ahead and do the other side. The convertible top works really well. It's nice and smooth. Even with the plastic on, I don't think I'm going to run into any issues. I'm not going to put the plastic on it yet until I actually get the dirt in it and get some of the seeds or transplants in the box. Haven't decided which I'm going to do yet. It will be a greenhouse, so I could technically do it out here, but I don't want to take any risk of the plastic getting damaged before I even getting anything in it. So, but I'll do a video when I do that section too, because the way I'm going to attach it, because the lid is going to be lifting up off the box, the plastic has to be attached to the top separately. You can't pin it between the lid and the box, which a lot of people do. So I came up with an idea on how to attach it to the bottom side of the lid. I'll do a video on that, but appreciate you guys watching. Hope you liked the video. All right, take care.